Hello, I'm Meryl Streep, and my friends at Elevon have asked me here today to talk to you. Did I say I was Meryl Streep?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm not Meryl Streep at all. Why did I say that? Oh, yes, because last night at dinner, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, I'm not Meryl Streep. No way. I'm John Cleese. Now, I realize you're expecting another typical sales presentation full of turgid jargon, wild claims, and simplistic solutions. Well, yes, basically that's what this is. But don't shut off the tape yet, because it contains an important message that you can't afford to miss, one that will quadruple your profits, at least, guaranteed. Plus, you can always record over the tape later. You just need to cover the little hole in the spine. I'll show you how at the end. But now, first, let me show you this. This is how businesses have operated for centuries. Acting independently, they effectively created barriers, which meant that processes were often duplicated further up and or down the line with only slight changes. And while this is quite entertaining to watch, the amount of time and money wasted struggling with ineffective, inefficient, redundant, and misplaced processes is pretty horrendous. Definitely uncool. Put it another way, it sucks. Because the cumulative effect of these inefficiencies across the enterprise represents big money. And we're guessing that someone in your position, right at the top of a top enterprise, wouldn't have got where you are today if you weren't a tough, competitive, hard-nosed so-and-so with a keen interest in big money. Where was it? Oh, yes. You're a tough, competitive so-and-so, and just the sort of person we want to do business with. Now, until this time, solutions to this have been attempted. Some businesses have tried collaborative commerce. This supposedly enables enterprises to better communicate with customers and to better cooperate with suppliers. However, this sort of collaboration usually benefits only one party. Having moved costly, time-consuming processes out of their four walls and into the customers and suppliers, the enterprise at least should be able to drive value right to the bottom line, yes? Well, not necessarily. In collaborative commerce, we might compare the customer's situation to that of the depositor forced into do-it-yourself banking. Great for the bank, initially, but it did send the message, we'd like you to do the work we used to do and still pay us, which caused some customers to flee to a full-service institution. In the supplier world, collaborative commerce produced the reverse auction, where predatory pricing can degrade critical relationships and can even drive valuable suppliers out of business, leaving the others in a rather strong bargaining position. Clearly, what collaboration should achieve is efficiency, where processes are not duplicated, but where each process is moved to the appropriate party who is given the incentive to carry it out. And this is where so-called collaborative synergies comes in. Wait, I know. All of this talk about collaboration is contrary to everything you stand for. I mean, you didn't get where you are today by prancing through the fields hand in hand with your customers and suppliers, did you? I mean, was the Battle of Agincourt won with "Cry God for Harry, England, and collaborative synergies"? No. Responsiveness is still the smart battle cry. But I think once you see how collaborative synergies can work for you, you will get over your well-justified suspicion of collaboration and embrace it. Embrace it in a very cutthroat way, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you collaborative synergies. Customer meet enterprise, enterprise meet customer and supplier, and da-da-da-da-da. You see, the magic of collaborative synergies is that removing barriers benefits everyone. processes are transformed into lasting win-win workflows. The ineffective are redesigned, the inefficient are streamlined, the redundant are eliminated, and the misplaced are reassigned. So, there will be new benefits. And provided there are benefits somewhere in the system, you will gain. I mean, you'll negotiate how the benefits are split up between you all, but the point is, you'll gain. In fact, now, don't be alarmed, everyone will benefit, because in a good deal, everyone wins, okay? Now, let me make this clear. I'm not suggesting that savage, competitive brutes like you start behaving kindly and worrying about people or becoming in any way morally improved. Not at all. I'm only asking you to do something that works in the real world. Yes, I know it's not as much fun as screwing everyone in sight, but it works. It makes money. The other way round. So, let me repeat. The magic of collaborative synergies is that you benefit by benefiting your partners. You may be asking, how does collaborative synergies improve on the independent enterprise and collaborative commerce business models? Well, if you're not asking that, perhaps you could now do so. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you asked. Please look at these handy graphic illustrations. In the independent enterprise model, a business works in isolation and often repeats processes that are also going on outside its four walls. Wasteful, redundant, silly. In the collaborative commerce model, processes are moved to other players in the value chain. This may appear to be a win in the short term, but in the long term, it's really a zero-sum game. And now for something completely different. Collaborative synergies is the next logical step in the evolution of business process improvement, where process changes are aligned with rewards and incentives. Imagine a world where customers gladly reduce your process burden in return for better velocity. Imagine a world where suppliers not only ease your overhead, but actually lower their prices in return for increased visibility that costs you nothing. This world exists, and Elevon will take you there. Now, Elevon combines new vision and best practices with granular component software to transform painful processes into win-win workflows. See? I promised you some turgid jargon. Now, I'm sure that your mind is already racing with the opportunities for collaborative synergies in your enterprise. Now, here's how we keep it simple for you. You have received this tape because you're one of the top professionals in your field. And because of this, when you call the number on your screen to set up a meeting with one of the Elevon team, you will not be subjected to the typical sales line of questioning. So don't expect some sort of Spanish Inquisition. Excuse me. While you're dialing that number, let's meet a couple of the Elevon team who can help your company profit from the promise of collaborative synergies. I'm happy to introduce Phil Head.
Thanks, John.
Phil. And Tim Shirley.
Always a pleasure, John.
Thank you. I think that's one of them calling you now. So, there you have it. You want to pick up the phone? Elevon, elevating collaboration. You see, you just put a bit of sticky tape over that hole there, and then you can record right over it, okay? See? We make